Welcome to the show. We begin from Southern Africa. Eswatini's government has held the election of 51 male and 8 female members of parliament to the lower house of parliament as free and fair. The elections are unlikely to offer any political change to the kingdom, with the members of parliament serving in a purely advisory role to the monarch, the king, King Mswati III. Candidates for the elections ran independent of any parties, which are banned in the country, and was elected by traditional chiefs close to the king. All legislation in the country is approved by the king, who has the right to veto. King Mswati III also appoints the Prime Minister, the cabinet and judges, as well as commanding the police and the army. Here's a report from Bambane.
Opposition candidate Nomalungelo Simelane, known as Laswide, is taking a rare stand for democracy before elections in Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland.
All that is in my heart is that we are fighting that our people must get someone who will go to parliament and speak for them and stand for them, so that whatever they want here, they must get from our government.
Political parties are banned in this tiny nation since 1973, forcing individuals seeking elected positions to run as independent candidates in the parliamentary elections, which happens every 5 years. Even ahead of the vote, hope had already dwindled.
But they are saying there's elections which are free and fair. There's nothing like that. And the world must know that in Swaziland we are living in an absolute monarch. The 3 arms of government are under one man, not even a certain one man. King Mswati III is the one that decides what is going to happen.
And so the voting happened. This is the first poll since 2021's deadly pro-democracy protests. More than 500,000 people registered to vote, and they were set to elect 59 members of the lower house of parliament. But the MPs only have an advisory role and do not wield any tangible power in the country. The power of the politicians elected in these polls consists mainly of being able to make suggestions to the king, who is free to ignore them. But King Mswati III has encouraged people to turn out to vote. The 55-year-old king, who inherited the throne in 1986 when he was just 18, will select 10 more representatives. The king also appoints the cabinet, prime minister and judges, approves laws proposed by parliament and commands all of Eswatini's security forces.
I think it is very important to keep the traditional system because it is our only identity.
There is a lot we benefit from the kingdom, a lot we benefit from the monarchy. The king is hardworking and he takes good care of us.
Yes, another thing.
The monarchy's crackdown on dissent and the country's political nomination system, which involves traditional chiefs choosing candidates, often produces elected officials supportive of the monarchy. 2 opposition lawmakers elected in 2018 are currently detained for pushing for democratic rule, while a 3rd fled into exile. In 2021, student-led protests that began over alleged police brutality morphed into calls for political change. The unrest led to the death of more than 45 people. The king's polygamous and opulent lifestyle, which is characterized by luxury cars and watches, has long faced criticism. More than a third of the country's 1.2 million people live below the international poverty line. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.